Let's do flow and stretch. Welcome to today's flow and stretch class. I want you to bring yourself, your mat, and then some blocks if you want to support yourself with blocks in any way. We don't have to bring them if you don't want to. We're going to start today in a seated position. So you can go ahead and take any comfortable seated position that you would like. You can sit crisscross just like me, on your knees, on a block in any way to support you, or a bolster, blanket, or any other way you would like. I'm going to take the hands to the knees, start by sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the spine, rooting down through the sit bones, and starting to soften the shoulders down away from the ears. After you have some more nice long length in that spine, I want you to slightly tuck your chin down towards your chest. Now humbling that chin down, you can take a soft gaze down towards the mat, down towards the earth, or you can even close the eyes if that feels good for you. We'll take a few moments to settle into the body, to settle into your breath, and just to start to let the mind slow. You can keep a closed mouth, just breathing in and out of the nose. And as you start to settle, you will notice that the breath is slowing down. The heartbeat starts to slow and relax. And then the little bits of tension starting to melt away on every exhale. So you might start to notice that you're holding a muscle or a part of your body tight. You might be clenching. Just noticing those areas softening and starting to find some release. Taking 2 more cycles of breath. And without trying to push or pull in any way, just letting the breath be soft, final cycle of breath. If the eyes are closed, you can just slightly open the eyelids so you have a soft gaze down towards the mat. And then starting to open up a little bit more, you can bring that beautiful gaze up through the center. And we'll just start to take some circles with your wrists. So we're moving them from the knees, circling in one direction, and then circling in the opposite direction. You can take the hands down to your sides or back onto the body in any way that feels good. And just bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. Start to slowly bring it down through the center and then take it up towards the opposite side. And just doing a few circles with the neck. So you can start to feel the neck and the upper back. Maybe if you have a spot with some extra tension, you can stay there for a moment. Breathing into that spot. Maybe a little bit of extra love. And then really making sure that throughout our practice today, you're able to honor that area and not push it too far. To bring the body up through the center, we're going to take a big breath and reach the arms all the way overhead. Give yourself a full big stretch from the hips up through the fingertips. As you exhale, the right hand will come down towards the mat. Left fingertips reach all the way over. You can lean the body over so you get a really big side stretch. Nice sensation all on the left side of the body. From the hip out through the fingers. Inhale through the center. Take that over towards the other side. Right fingertips reach all the way up. Lean the body over. Keep that shoulder pulled down away from the ear. The shoulder blade is slid down the back side of the body. Beautiful. Inhale to come up through the center. Tend the fingertips behind the body. Start to lift the chest, lift the gaze. Just opening up into the front body. On the inhale, release that down, come through the center. We're going to twist our bodies over and we're going to come down onto our backs. We're going to lay all the way down onto your back, root through the back of the head. Knees can be bent, feet on the floor to start. Hands come down to your sides. Just start to feel the backside of the body on the mat. No right or wrong. Just taking a moment to settle here. Fully sinking down into the breath. Just taking a moment to be present with your body and present with your breath. Take one inhale through your nose. And then exhale through mouth or nose, your choice to press the lower back down into the mat and start to hug the knees in towards the chest. Arms can lift or wrap around the shins, clasp the mid-shin, rock the body side to side, massaging the back side. I want you to root just the left foot down towards the mat. The right ankle will cross over that left knee. And then maybe stay here. Or if you want to take this right glute stretch a little bit further, pick up the left foot, clasp the hands behind the left thigh, and gently tug that left knee in without starting too deep in the sensation. Just really making sure that upper body is soft and relaxed. There's absolutely no need to have the chest lifted and pull everything in through the center. You can just softly pull that knee in. And if you don't start off too deep, the body will likely invite you to pull it in a little bit deeper, find a more sensation. And finally here, we will release the hands, cross the right leg all the way over the left so the knees are in one line. From here, you might just want to have knees hugged in towards the chest. This might be enough. You also start to flex the feet, lift the shins up parallel to the mat. Perhaps sliding the hands about mid-shin and then pulling the shins in towards the chest. If you want to take this even deeper, you can take the hands to the outer edges of flexed feet and then pull those pull those flexed feet all the way in. I'm going to keep this pretty gentle today and just take it to mid-shin. Wherever you are, let's flatten that tailbone down into the mat. So try not to lift the tail all the way up here just to get the knees in. It doesn't matter how far the knees pull in. Taking a couple cycles of breath here. Getting that slight little tuck of the chin. So you can keep that long spine and crown. And then just taking one more cycle. Start to release hands from shins. Unwind the legs. We'll root the feet to the floor about hip width apart. You can take the arms out wide, cactus or tee them. Just start to windshield wiper those knees side to side a couple times. Seeing what tension might have built up, especially in that right hip. And then we'll take this sequence over towards the other side, keeping the right foot, the right knee bent, sole of the foot onto the mat. We're picking up the left foot this time, crossing it over the knee. Maybe you stay here. This might be enough of the sensation to the left glute. Perhaps picking up the right foot, clasping hands behind thigh. And then starting to feel and notice the sensation in the left glute. Perhaps you went too deep to start and you want to back off just a little bit. That's pretty common to really hug it in. And again, it doesn't matter how far the right knee is pulled in towards the chest. 100% of what matters here is that you're enjoying A juicy stretch in the left glute. Now you're able to relax mostly the upper body, but also still relaxing in the lower body. And if you notice that thoughts are starting to or continuing to race through the mind, you can even close the eyes down and just really anchor into the breath. And I think we hear that a lot in yoga, anchor into the breath, and use the breath as your anchor. And what that really means is to notice the sound of the breath, so hear it using your auditory senses. Notice the sensation of it, the physical sensation. Is it cool, usually coming in through the nose, and warm coming out through the nose or the mouth? Feeling it circulate in, around, and through the body. We'll start to release the hands, crossing the left leg all the way over the right, so the knees come into one line, squeezing those inner thighs together, and then maybe staying there, taking those shins up parallel to the mat. Same options here. You can keep the hands right here with soft knees. That might be enough for you. Perhaps you take shins about parallel and start to hug them in towards the earth. You can take hands to flexed feet. And then come back to the anchor. Sometimes when we have a stiller session, the mind will really start to race because our body and our mind, they're not used to being still. Use a word, a phrase, a mantra, an affirmation, something that works for you, something that speaks to you. And softly repeat that in your head, or perhaps put it to your breath, inhaling one word or phrase and exhaling another word or phrase. This will be our final cycle of breath. Then we release hands from shins, unwind the legs, root the soles of the feet to the mat with the knees bent, open up through the chest. And again, windshield wiper the knees, side to side. Releasing the tension, just starting to move around. Lubricating, circulating into the hips. The lower back. And when this is feeling complete for you, come through the center. We'll take the left arm overhead, or the right if you choose. Roll onto your side body, use your bicep as a pillow, and then we're going to roll ourselves all the way around. You can straighten through the legs and roll all the way over onto the belly. Untuck the toes, the tops of the feet are into the mat. Take those arms out wide so they are cactus, and then bring your elbows slightly down from your shoulders. From here, I want you to engage the lower body. So point the toes and actively press the hips down into the mat. Start to press into hands and forearms and lift the chin and the chest up. Not too high, not to crunch into that lower back too much, but just as much as feels good for you. And then start to slowly drift the body down until the chin, the nose, or the forehead taps the mat. We'll do that a couple more times, using the strength of the arms, keeping that lower body engaged so we can protect that lower back. And then make sure your chin isn't looking all the way up, or you're not looking down at your chest. You have to focus on keeping a nice long line through the spine and out through the crown. So you lightly be looking down at the mat. Start to slowly drop the chest, drop the face. We'll do this one more time while using the strength of the hands and the arms to help to press us up. You decide how high you go. Breathe here. and then starting to ripple down. Hug the hands a little bit closer in towards the shoulders. Take one inhale, elbows are down at your side body. And as you exhale, press the hips down, squeeze the glutes. This time the arms and the hands will rise all the way up with you. So now we're using the strength of the back body to lift the chest. The glutes are being squeezed, the hamstrings are being squeezed, the quads are pulled, kneecaps are pulled up onto the quads, onto your thighs. And this will protect your lower back and allow you to not come up so high they're going to hurt in your lower back. Let's flow through these two, breathing in as you lower, and then breathing out as you lift. Again, you can use an Ujjayi breath if you want to breathe out the mouth, or because this is a nice slow session, you can just breathe in and out of the nose. Whatever feels natural and good for you today. It doesn't have to be what you choose next time. Just in this moment, whatever feels best. We'll take a final inhale to lower the body down. This time hands come directly beneath the shoulders. And then we'll start to press ourselves up into a tabletop position. And from here, stacking the joints, so making sure the knees are into the sit bones, the wrists are underneath the shoulders, the fingertips are spread wide to grip the mat. And crown is long, you're looking just beyond above the fingertips. As you inhale, start to dip the belly down. We're going to keep the gaze to the center to start. As you exhale, round the spine. So keep the neck exactly where it is to start. Take another inhale, tilting the tail, pulling the shoulders back. And an out breath, tucking tail under. Separating shoulder blades at the backside of the body. One more like this. Breathe in. Breathe out, ripple spine to sky. Now we add the neck into the mix. As you inhale, start to lift the chin and tilt the tail. As you exhale, looking down at your thighs. Tucking chin and tail in towards one another. Do this 2 more times. Inhale to arch. Maybe come a little bit deeper with each breath. Exhale to round, really pulling those shoulder blades nice and wide. A lot of spaciousness between those shoulder blades. One more time to breathe in. And to breathe out. Bring the spine back to a neutral position. Then we're going to come into the center of the mat. Lift the chest all the way up so we stack the joints. Knees, hips, shoulders all in one line. Take one inhale to reach that right arm overhead. And exhale to take the hand to the lower back. From here, breathe in to take the left arm up. And then you can keep your gaze with you. Maybe you just stay right here, opening up through the chest. So pull those shoulders back and down. Or you can start to press the hips forward and lean back. Completely up to you. You could also take one hand to your ankle and then this arm all the way overhead. But I don't feel like we're quite ready for that yet. Completely up to you. Breathe in. Breathe out. We're going to take this hand down, bring everything to the opposite side. Breathing in, the left arm reaches. Exhale, circle, open the shoulder. Hand comes to the lower back. Fingertips are pointing down. Breathe in, right arm lifts up. Maybe gaze comes with you. Same options here. Options to start to press the hips forward and lean back. Or take the hand to the top of the ankle. Then you can drop the gaze to the back wall. And bring everything down through the center. Right arm reaches overhead on an inhale. And take your left hand to your hip. And then start to lean all the way over. We don't want to sink the hips back and down. We're going to keep those hips pressed forward. Sensation comes to right side body. Inhale through the center, take right hand to hip. Exhale, leaning over, left side body lengthens. Breathe in to reach up. Exhale, both hands come to the lower back. Start to press the hips forward, elbows squeeze together, glutes are squeezed. Option for full camels is just a modified camel here. You could perhaps tuck toes or keep them untucked. Then start to open up through the chest and drop the gaze. And stay here, like I said, nice and gentle today. On an inhale, come back through the center. Drop the hips to the heels, the big toes are touching. And then we'll take the hands in front of us, drop the forehead down to the mat, slide those fingertips forward. And then take a cycle of breath, lengthening through the back body. Start to ripple the spine all the way up. You're coming to a seated position, and we're going to take the right leg forward into a low lunge. You can keep the left knee down to the mat. Hands are going to frame the front foot. You can take blocks to either side of the front foot if you would like to. And then while you're here, I want you to squeeze the left glute. Press that left hip forward. Again, we're not looking all the way up. Pull those shoulders back, lengthen through that crown. And breathe here. Take tented fingertips towards the mat. If the chest is dropping so low, so you might be right here where the chest doesn't want to drop as low as the right thigh. If the chest wants to drop lower, you can just take the knee to the outer edge of the armpit. Breathe here. Stay for an exhale. On an inhale, we'll extend the front leg long, sink the hips back. Actively bring the toes, the right toes up towards the sky. And then maybe again, just tented fingertips. If you can't reach the mat, blocks are a really nice option in a half split. So you can take blocks on any edge to underneath the hands, just to support you. Bring the ground a little bit closer to you. And one more cycle of breath. On an inhale, bring yourself forward back into that low lunge. Stay to settle for an exhale. Press into that front foot. Breathe in, reach the fingertips up towards the sky. As you exhale, the hands come down, heart center, thumbs land at the center of the chest. Breathe in. Exhale, twist the body. So here, you can actively press the tricep into the thigh to find more twist. We're gonna work with our breath for a couple cycles. As you inhale, I want you to reach through that crown, press the shoulders back, lengthen through the torso. As you exhale, press the tricep into the thigh, open up through that top shoulder. Breathe in here. Finding those micro adjustments. One more cycle, maybe you want more twist. Maybe you just want to stay as is, that's okay too. On an inhale, we will come through the center. As you exhale, place the hands down to the mat. Start to slide this right foot behind the left wrist. Let the shin lay down on a 45-degree angle. Untuck the back toe if it wasn't already, and slide the hips away from the front shin. The kneecap is down towards the mat. The top of the foot is down towards the mat. You can stay lifted here if you prefer. You could also start to slide the fingertips forward. And then maybe just make a little pillow for your forehead with your arms. If you don't like this pigeon posture, you can find the sensation to be way too deep on the right hip. Place a block underneath your right hip for some support if the hip doesn't want to lower down towards the ground. Just breathing here, a couple cycles. Anytime making any adjustments that you feel your body needs, you absolutely do not have to be still while you're here. We'll start to lift the gaze, hands come beneath the shoulders. Use your arm strength to press your body all the way up. Lifting the chest and the shoulders. Tuck the back toe. Press into the back toe and knee and slide yourself back to tabletop. Sway the hips side to side, circle through the spine. Really any intuitive movements that your body wants. So you do not have to do what I'm doing. There's no right or wrong here. We'll move our sequence to the other side. We're going to slide the left foot forward into that low lunge. And then just working into that right hip flexor. See how far the right hip flexor feels like lengthening right now. So we're feeling this all the way through that right quad and that right hip flexor. You're obviously feeling this on the inner thighs as well. Breathing here. Deciding if you need some support of blocks. Or just to slightly splay the left knee towards the left armpit. Feel free to back off a little bit by lifting the hips a little bit higher if you found yourself to go deep, too deep to start. And this is our final cycle of breath. If you know you want your blocks or your half split, grabbing onto those blocks on your next inhale, lengthening and extending through the left leg, sinking the hips back so they are stacked over top of the right knee. So we don't want to sink the hips all the way back. We want to keep them stacked over that right knee. Slight flex of the left toe. Doesn't have to be fiercely flexed. Noticing how the left hamstring feels right now. Body is folded forward so you have a deeper sensation. At any time, feel free to fold a little further if your left hamstring is asking for that. And you'll know if your hamstring is asking for that if you are still and just listening to your body through how it feels. And through that quiet little whisper in your head that's telling you to go deeper or to back off. Definitely not that loud one yelling at you to push further, push further, push further. That's called ego. We don't need that today. On your next inhale, slide yourself forward, bend through that left knee back into the low lunge. Press down into the left foot. Inhale, fingertips rise towards the sky, the chest opens. Exhale, thumbs land at the heart space. We breathe here to prepare. We exhale to twist. Same thing here. Tricep hooks onto the thigh, just above the knee. And let's start to make some micro adjustments with our breath. Breathing in for length. Breathing out to press that bottom shoulder forward. Open the top shoulder up towards the sky. The gaze can come with you. If that feels good, you can also keep gaze down towards the mat if this doesn't feel good on your neck. We take one final cycle. The inhale will unwind you. The exhale will bring the hands to root. So to bring the weight out of the left foot, slide it behind the right wrist. Bring the knee forward so the shin is down on 45. Untuck the toe, hips slide back and away. Squaring through the hips as best you can. You want to try not, you can if you want to, but that's not the variation we're using today, to open the right hip up and let the knee splay to the side. That would be a yin variation of pigeon called sleeping swan. Today we're in quite a square pigeon. So set up with a block underneath your left hip if you need to. Breathe here, open up through that chest. If you would like to fold, fingertips slide forward, bending the elbows. Bring the forehead and the chest down. And then I always like to make a couple adjustments when I've landed into a posture. Whether that be a stretching posture or an active posture. So this could be a warrior or a balance or even a pigeon or a sleeping swan. Just seeing where the body is. Maybe making a few little micro adjustments so I like it even better. And then just breathing there. And this is your final cycle of breath. Sliding hands beneath the body, pressing through the fingertips and the heels of the hands to lift the body all the way up. This time we do sit down onto that left hip. And I want you to open the legs up nice and wide, bringing the toes towards the corners of the mat. So start by sitting up nice and tall. You can place blocks in front of you if you want to bring your hands onto some blocks so you have some support. This might be enough for you. You could also bring the soles of the feet to touch and let the knees splay out wide. Or we'll start to look down the long edge of the mat. I'm trying to bring myself back a little bit. And then just place the hands in front of the body. This might be a nice spot for you to stay. The next option is for you to bring the forearms down towards the mat. Elbows are beneath the shoulders. We're trying not to round too much in the spine here. And we're keeping the knees faced up towards the sky. Sometimes the knees want to roll in. If you want to take this even further, again, you can make that pillow with your hands. Flatten your whole body down towards the mat. I'm going to keep everything about mid-range today. And just breathe here, making any adjustments you might need. Using your mantra or your affirmation to keep the mind still. And we fill up and let go one last time. Taking the hands to earth beneath the body, press your body all the way up to a seated position. And we'll start to close those legs up, crossing the legs once more to come back to how we started. If you had a different seated position or want a different seated position, please go right ahead. Hands come to kneecaps. If you are crisscross, lengthening through the spine, opening through the chest, and once more humbling the chin down towards the collarbone. Perhaps closing the eyes down or softening through the gaze. And becoming really still for these last few moments of our practice. Soften the space between the brow, the jaw, the teeth. Notice where you're holding, clenching, and gripping. And release that area on an exhale. Your breath is likely a lot slower and stiller than it was the first time that we sat here today. And know that you can create this feeling of stillness, slowness, this feeling of peace and relaxation anytime you need to. You did that today by becoming present with your body and your breath, by intentionally breathing. And that is available to you anytime. It did not come from any external sources. That came from within. If you are feeling complete and ready to close, you can close with me, or you're absolutely welcome to stay wherever you are for as long as you would like. Take your hands to heart center into prayer. Soft fingertips touch, thumbs land at heart space. You can feel your beautiful heartbeat. And we take one breath in gratitude to close our practice. So just being grateful for anything that you want to in this moment. And then breathing some life into that gratitude. Thank you so much for coming and practicing this flow and stretch class with me today. Namaste.